Oh yeah, another reason to not move for a man is most of them would never do that for you. Most men would be almost insulted if you ask them to do anything that they expect you to do for them. And moving is a big one. In fact, some of the time, on the rare occasion that they do move for you, they're bitter as hell and they will punish you for making them do that. Whereas women are just supposed to, it's just the default. Of course, I'll take this job on the other side of the country where my wife has to leave all of her friends, her community, the kids have to leave their school. It doesn't matter. It's for my job. Of course they're going to do that. Why would they not do that? Why would we not center everything around what I want to do when I want to do it? You know what I mean? Whereas if a woman dared to be like, hey babe, I just want to change careers and just move entirely. Cool. Men would be like, hell no. And so here's the thing, when it comes to like international couples. If I wasn't a writer and like a content creator, I'd be screwed. The thing is, I moved to Europe knowing that that's what I wanted to do, was to write, and that I could do that anywhere. But do you know how often a man will be like, yeah, just come live in my country where your degree is useless. And I swear some of them have the audacity to be like, well, you can just like teach English or get a job at a coffee shop or something. And they ask women who have master's degrees, doctorates, to be cool with working in a coffee shop. Actually, one of the women that I'm a writing coach of, she moved to the US to be with her husband, and then her psychology degree didn't work because there is not like a standard, oh, if you're a psychologist here, you can just do it. No, there's like all kinds of rules and regulations. You know what she ended up doing? Cleaning toilets. She was literally cleaning men's piss off of toilets and around urinals. He was like, I didn't realize how disgusting men were until I had to clean toilets because I moved across the world from my husband and my degree didn't work. Oh, and by the way, that man became abusive. Shocker. And it took her, I don't know, well over a decade to finally get away from him after a lot of trauma and some kids with him. And so even women who have a better job, a better degree, will get talked into giving all that up to be with the love of their life. Then we'll treat them like crap as soon as they have them in their own country. Because like I said, their in-laws are also going to center their son. By the way, I'm like hanging out on the side. I'm on a bike ride right now. I was like, I'm going to pull over and talk about men. But I really want to educate women, especially because we've been so educated to just kind of go with the flow, do whatever, give up, sacrifice to our own detriment, so that sometimes everything we have worked hard for disappears like that because of one bad decision to hitch ourselves to the wrong man. So luckily, I can write anywhere, right? And luckily, I have built a career that's sustainable that way. But do you know how many people are like, why don't you just teach English? Are you kidding me? I did teach English to get the visa, the original visa. And it's not, believe me, I can be humble. And in fact, a little too humble. My biggest problem is not knowing my value and my worth. My biggest problem is having a hard time accepting success. And I'm reminded more so now because I'm in my husband's town. I always get to know him more when we come and visit. We're dog sitting for 2 weeks at his parents' place. And I get to see this village that he grew up in, He's in the French countryside, in a tiny little village. Thank God we live in a city. The only way I would move up here is if I kept a tiny apartment in the city. Because up here, I'm isolated from my community, the community that I've spent years building. And, I always have a little bit of city person in me now. But more importantly, I always have to have some English speakers in my life. And they are all in the city. So if you move for a man, which I hope you don't, please don't move to a small town. Because do you have any immigrants that are in a small town, France? Not many, and unless you speak perfect French, you are going to have a hard time. And the worst thing that you can do is center your world around one person, especially a man. Because if that doesn't go well for you, you have zero support. And you don't have the law on your side. You don't have family on your side because they're on the other side of the world. You have nobody. Please, for the love of God, do not move for these men because they would never do the same for you. Most of them. Not all men. #.